Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another show for you today. And on the show today, we're going to speak about same Spurs, different day. Yeah, we have to say it every single time. That's my to someone who said that first. Dan the Hotspur Hood, big up to him. And we're going to talk about the Tottenham after the 2 nights before in the Carabao Cup semi-final, where can anything save their season? This is a very difficult show for Mr. Box Office, where I do apologize to all of you who've subscribed and keep subscribing. I see a lot of people that watch the show but don't subscribe. Even if you don't agree with me, it's very helpful to me to grow the show, but also have different opinions as well, which makes this very more interesting for me. But the thing that I've really found very difficult this season, and like I said in other shows, is that it's becoming very, very boring speaking about the same things that I said 5 years ago. And some of the things that have came and aimed towards me is that I'm very negative. I'm very, you don't look happy, just smile a little bit. But I think in some way that's shown I've been very, very consistent. Very consistent in my views, very, very consistent about what Tottenham Hotspur were all about. Since that moment, which I don't really want to say his name, Pochettino, because I'm actually now getting bored of speaking about him as well. Have to say it. But since then, I've not been the same since. Not been happy with my team, Tottenham. And it's all through those years of then coming on YouTube to challenge the people that were talking a load of waffle on there and needed to say my opinion. Now on making the channel, Mr. Box Office TV, going strong for how long now? And now we now come to the moment with the manager that, for me at the moment, and I'm trying to not bash the manager anymore because that's getting very boring as well. For me at the moment, epitomizes what Tottenham Hotspur and Tottenham Hotspur fans are all about. You have a manager that, when he came in, inspired the people with his documentary of how he became the manager that he was today. But then when you see it this season, and also last season as well, after the first 10 games, he's flattered to deceive. And we're looking like we're hanging our head on someone that, let's be honest here, really doesn't deserve the backing that he's getting at the moment, especially what's happened in the past with this club as well. And it just goes back to what the 2 nights before against Liverpool, which I've been keen to speak about, but at the same time, not really wanting to speak about it. I've had to take a few nights to do other stuff, and then start really thinking and reflecting. Do I really need to speak about something that really I've said the same thing every single time? I've been very, very consistent. And then I sat there and thought, I thought, no, there's no really point. But then I watched Deddy's channel and I watched the guest that he had on there. And then I see the same excuses that I saw before. Oh, we've got 3 games a week. Oh, these teams have only got 1 game a week, even though you like Cariola, you like your Thomas Franks, you like your these other managers, Eddie Howe, because they've got 1 game a week. And then I sit there and think, well, we laud ourselves as a big team. We're a massive team. We're the Tottenham Hotspur, mighty, mighty Tottenham Hotspur. But then when it comes to the crunch, are we really showing oh, we are a massive club. If we can't manage 3 games a week, 2 games a week, because that's what big teams need to do. So when I hear the excuses for people like I heard on Deji's channel, big up to him, but at the same time, if you want to keep on talking like that, keep you talking like that. Just roll with it all day long. If that's your truth, keep rolling yourself going all day long. But the reality is that if you want to get to the top, you got to try. You just got to keep on. You've got to do what the top teams do, because you see what's happening with Man City at the moment. When they lose their standard, look what's happened. They nearly lose to Leighton Orient. Big up to Jamie Donnelly, by the way. Big up to him, because that was a fantastic shot. And he was unlucky not to get that goal, by the way. Absolutely amazing shot. And hopefully he does get his opportunity. I don't think he will do under this manager. I'll tell you that for a fact. But again, I don't want to put another penny in the jar. So I don't really want to talk about him too much, because like I said on another channel yesterday. But it's just, it's a very difficult thing to talk about now, because I've been so consistent in what I've been saying about this club. So consistent, and what the consistency pieced together a story for me and why we are not successful. The fact that the owners don't show ambition, that says it within itself. They're the ultimate problem. Yeah, obviously. The other thing that people might rain at me and say, they'll say is that, oh, well, what do you want as owners then? Well, that's another question. You've got to take whatever you get, because when they sell the club, they've got no responsibility to sell it to somebody that's going to be responsible. So you've got to take that risk and see what you get. So yeah, that's a fair question. Fair enough. He ain't leaving though. So let's just get that right, because big owners don't just leave something like that, especially in a catchment area of London. But I don't want to get into that, because that then becomes a less football, and that's it. The way that we run the football side of things, the decision making on the strategy going forward. We want to play good flowing attacking football. Well, okay, cool. We get a manager that want to play that sort of football. Okay. But we don't look at the characteristics of the manager that we get. Does he need specific players to play the way he wants to play? Does he use the players that we give him and utilize the players that he has at his disposal really well? Do we look at these things? Well, by the evidence, we don't. We don't at all. This is the thing. Then we look at the players. Do we get the specific players that we need? Do we have the specific players that can grow and that say, okay, this is going to take time? What is the strategy? What is the goal in the next couple of years, in the next 5 years? What is the goal? Rather than saying that, well, we've got our Tottenham back, let's get emotional, let's just try and do the emotional strings. We're not talking sense at the moment. And these are all the things that we've seen. The different managers that have came through the door, all through the tenure of Daniel Levy and Enoch. And the foundering of all the top of Tottenham as a club, it's been up and down. Very much up and down. Not really a steady road of success at all. And then you sit there and think, when people sit there and talk to me and say, oh, you're negative, you're this, you're that, you're this. You get people that are new coming on YouTube thinking they can talk all the talk and then walk the walk, but then they sit there and they try it, but they can't do it. They can't do it with me. Big talk, big shoes. Then they think they're big. Then I sit there and think, nah, you're not. Because you don't need to tell me about my club. You don't need to tell me about my club because I know about my club. Then you get rivals telling me, oh, we play great football. What are you watching? Then I get someone tell me about XG, and then I sit there and think, okay, go back to FIFA, mate. It's like you watch, I saw a clip of a big man. Then you got some small guy. He goes past the guy, shoves him. He says, what? What are you going to do? The big man's looking at him thinking, bro, you're not on my level, bruv. Bro, just walk on. Just walk on. But little guy's sitting there thinking, yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like, mate, you're taking the wrong battle, bruv. Just keep walking on. Just walk on, bro. Walk on. No. I'm big man, bruv. I'm big man. Big man shoes, bruv. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm coming for you. Yeah. Look at me, bro. Look at me. And the big man's sitting there thinking, bro, you're picking your wrong fights, bruv. The guy lifts him up and he's like saying, no, don't. And that's Tottenham. That was Tottenham on Thursday. We're going into a battle with the big men, the big guys, Liverpool. And all you're doing, you're thinking, yeah, we're going to go for it, yeah? We're going to give it big time. We're going to defend. We're going to give it, yeah. Salah, who are you today, yeah? Oh, yeah. What are you today, bro? Gakpo, who are you? Jones, you're a young guy. Who are you? Yeah, look at me. Yeah, Bentancur, Basuma. Yeah, look at me. Yeah. We've got Davis. Yeah, we've got Danzo. Yeah. Yeah, we've got our new signing Tau as well. Yeah, forget Werner. Werner's out the door, bruv. He's not even in the European squad. Who cares about him? No, who cares about him? But then we go to the battle, and after how many minutes? A 20-minute spell, Liverpool score and it just feels like a whimper. Feels like a whimper completely. That just sums it up, Tottenham. That just sums up Tottenham completely. And then people say to me, oh, you need to believe. You need to believe in Ange Postecoglou. Believe in the team. That's what you do as a supporter. So believe in the team. Believe in the team. Why don't you believe in the team, Mr. Box Office? Why? Well, the belief is when I see it. Because after how many years, like I said on my video, and you should watch that video of why I don't believe in this manager, Ange Postecoglou. So you better watch that video to see what I said there and why I've been really bored since then, to be honest with you. I've been here since 1998, so I've seen this all before. And yeah, you're very, very upbeat. You're very enthusiastic as a kid. But then you go through life, and life is a very tough thing. And you realize, yeah, this is becoming very similar, very, very similar, really. I've got to be honest. So this is where my mind's at the moment as a Tottenham fan. And it's really showing games like Liverpool. When people talk to me and say, and give me abuse, and I went on one other channel and there was one person in the chat going off, and I was just ignoring him because I was sitting there thinking, bro, you take your 5 minutes of fame on Mr. Box Office time, bro, because you want to take your 5 minutes of fame on Mr. Box Office time, bro. It's not working. You know what I mean? Because all I've been doing is benching, bro. Yeah, like I was doing a day, bro. Yeah. And when you're going off on me, yeah, all I'll do is bench it. I'll bench how many times, get a bit more bigger than I am yet at the moment, get a bit more nicer at the moment as well. And then all your comments won't make a blind bit of difference. Like I say, eat it all up and just throw it back in your face and say, if you don't know, get to know. Like I said every single time. But it's like I say, it's like people have a go at me and saying, "Oh well, why can you not be positive, Mr. Box Office? Why are you not so? Why are you so horrible? Why you can't not be positive? You're so miserable. Oh my gosh, no one wants to be around you anymore." And I sit there and think, "Well, great. You must have got rattled then, because I've obviously rattled your cages so easily. It's in 2 seconds. So you're telling me to back Basuma, Bentacore. You're telling me to back Poro, who's terrible in defence. You're telling me to back this manager that is time should have been up a long time ago. You're telling me to back you're telling me to back a forward line for me that is not good enough. Son, that's not a captain. That does team huddles every first half and second half, and every single time we look like we're flopping every single time. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And as I say, it's not worth. Why would I listen to people when I've been always right? I back the likes of bang average Harry Winks. I back the likes of Davis. I back the likes of Sissoko back in the past. So I've learnt my lesson. And there's nothing to give me inspiration. Anything has changed at this club. And then we go on to Postecoglou, because there's something that I need to speak about with Postecoglou. Remember when we spoke about the Brentford game? We spoke about the Brentford game and we won the game. Everyone said we're back. It was status quo for Tottenham fans. You've got all the videos coming on YouTube, which I ignore because you know, Mr. Box Office ain't got time for that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Because you know, there's only so much time in a day that I can watch other people's videos. And let's be honest here, you know what I mean? If it's not worth my time, if you're not going to invite Mr. Box Office to debate you, what's the point of me watching it? But we made a big deal about Ange changing it. Ange changed things at Brentford. Then I looked at this statement. I think it was after the. I think it was after the Newcastle. I think it was after the Brentford, or I think it was after the game against Liverpool. He says this, and this is after a question that was asked. He says, "Is it that why did he said?" Well, okay. So the question was from one of the journalists. Says, "Is that why you said when you set the team up, or is that just the way the game ended up being?" Right, and he says this: "We set the team up, and intent was to go out and play the same way that we play every week. We were trying to put pressure on them and unsettle them, but it never really materialized. We didn't really have conviction when we had the ball, either of which allowed them to control the game, control of the game. So the whole manner of things that we didn't really do that would have given us at least an opportunity to get past this stage." For me, when I listened to that statement, he didn't look like he changed anything. All it looked like to me is that he sat there and thought, and I think he wanted to continue the way he was playing, which is what he's continued saying. I can't change the way that I play. You might have seen some alterations on the team a little bit, but it highlights to me that it's more maybe the players or maybe the coaches. I don't know, but it's not Ange. It's not Ange making these alterations. just by looking at that statement after the Liverpool game, which is again concerning, because sometimes you need to adapt to different teams. And the adaptation is very, very important for your team, because you're gonna go through different scenarios, but it might be too late for us to do that, because that's something that you would do in pre-season to prepare yourself for the things that you're doing. So when I hear what I heard on Deji's show saying, "Oh, we've got too many games. Oh, but Bournemouth haven't got that many games. Marco Silva for Fulham hasn't got many games." Well, that's where you prepare for that sort of thing. You get the players' mindset saying, "Well, we might have to look at different ways of trying to compete in a game," which is what so many people say. I mean, Ben Kaufman would say, you're trying to reinvent the wheel when the wheel didn't need reinventing in the first place. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You just don't do that. And it's just, it isn't one of those things for me. It just, for me, it hasn't really worked for me. It doesn't work for me whatsoever. And it just shows you how he's just not in tune of what we need. And it just shows you with the league position really at the moment. We're lucky to still be in two competitions, in my opinion, still in Europe and in the Europa League and the FA Cup, which we've got tomorrow, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But it just highlights that, is he really there? Is his mindset really there, Ange Postecoglou, if he says he wants to win in his second season? It's something that I need to know. I don't know. I've got no idea. I've got no idea whatsoever, to be honest with you. And it's some of the similar things that I would have said if it was a Conte, when I was back at Conte. I wasn't, I tried to get on board, but really at the end I wasn't there with him, because he's saying that he wanted to leave. Mourinho, I wasn't there with him, but I still say that he's better than this manager right now. And then obviously Poch, Martin Jol, and Harry Redknapp. And those are very good years, Harry Redknapp, definitely. Seeing him, the way that he adapted in different games, and that's got us through a lot of things. Yes, he failed in fight, in to try and get us to trophies. Yes, he did. Same with Pochettino. Also with Martin Jol as well. Martin Jol was very unlucky as well. But I think we were at that stage where we were trying to move up the table. We're just growing. We're just growing. And I think, unfortunately, because of certain sells that we made, like the likes of Michael Carrick, who, for me, no one can touch in this team right now. Michael Carrick was absolute quality. And he was. It's not that it was. It's not that he was one of those players that you could see his quality. It was just subtle, the way he played, the way that he was, very defensively sound, but also spread the ball out so well, controlled the game, and he was such a great midfielder to have in your team, because he was the foil back in that team that could just help you. And it's not a surprise that he was very successful and went over to Man United and was very successful. And I think he's now manager of Middlesbrough. I think it is. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Another thing as well is just it just highlights that, the demographics of what we brought in, the midfielders that we brought in. Well, we didn't bring anybody really, didn't we? We just brought in just kids, didn't we, for the midfield? But it just highlights that he just hasn't got an idea of what he wants. Did he have an idea of how to make that midfield stronger? Because that's our weak spot, in my opinion. and that's where we lose a lot of our the momentum, is the battle for me. We lose the battle in terms of the midfield. That's the battle that we lose a lot of the time, because our midfielders are not set in the right way. It feels like the opposition are more stronger there, and then it just puts more pressure on our defense, and then it really does affect our attack, because when we want to attack, we have to do it very, very quickly to try and get us out of holes, and we don't really spread the play out a little bit, which is what big teams do to slow the other team's momentum down. So there's ultimately so many things that Tottenham Hotspur can improve on. They can improve on a lot these days. And big up to Glenn Hoddle. I was actually going to speak about the Orient keeper, yeah, because the Orient keeper, he was very good against Man City as well, from what I saw from the highlights. I can't remember his name, but if I can get his name, he was very, very good, very, very good, because he made some very good saves. The late annoying goalkeeper. I can't remember his name at the top of my head, because it just escapes me, the player. He's on loan from Tottenham, and he is very well thought of at Tottenham, by the way, very well thought of. And it looked like a very good cup tie, to be honest with you. Man City, Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient really did give themselves a very good showing, really. And Donnelly, I have to big it up to Donnelly. I know Brian from Tottenham on Tour, Blaine Daigle, thinks of him very highly. He raves about him. Even Ian, big up Ian. He raves about him a lot, lots, very, very much. He really does. I mean, honestly, I mean, you just can't get him to keep quiet about it, because every single time a youngster does well, especially his beloved Archie Gray. Oh my gosh! I mean, you would think that he was related to Archie Gray, the way that he talks about him, honestly. But big up Ian, by the way, every single time. But but it's like, for me, yeah, it's not. He did look very impressive, the goalkeeper for Leyton Orient. Very well, he did look very well. And yeah, Josh Keeley, Josh Keeley. Big up Den Hoddle. Big up everybody in chat. Big up to everybody who's watching. 6 of you are watching, but big up to you. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just I don't really normally do these sort of things, because I end up saying the same things, really. But you know what? Is actually very much enjoyable, very enjoyable, actually, talking about these sort of things, just to get it off your chest. Even though, to be honest with you, I haven't really got too much to really bring to you. It's not really big news or anything like that at all. It's just really just a stream, just to talk, and just talk about the demise of the aftermath of Tuesday on Thursday against Liverpool. And where do we go? How can we save our season? I mean, I think the same thing. I think really the simple answer is, how we save our season are the cups. And tomorrow is very, very important against Aston Villa. I know Aston Villa have had a week to prepare, I think they have, for this game. And obviously we had the game on Thursday against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final. But people will say, and big up to everybody in chat, big up to you. Sin the Flesh, big up to you. He answers a question. He says, can you finish in European places with Ange? Well, this season, no. The only way we can do that, in my opinion, is get is do well in the cups, and I think the only way to do that is probably in the FA Cup would be our best opportunity. I mean, people say the Europa League, but on our performances in the competition so far, I wouldn't be that confident, to be honest with you. I mean, with the additions of Spence, you got Tao and Danzo. I think it does make our squad a little bit more stronger. Where I think there is more better ammunition with the likes of Tao, Spence, who it's funny how he uses Spence. It's just oh gosh. I mean, he had him at right wing against Liverpool at a certain time. And I just thought, well, why don't you just play Poro there? Because he's got a good cross on him, and then play Spence on the right back. But that's the logic of our manager there, really, to be honest. I'm going to end up putting a lot of pennies in the jar for this guy because I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bash him. I don't want to bash the manager. I really don't. But I'm going to end up bashing the manager because he's just ridiculous, really, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. It is what it is, as we say before. But yeah, that hopefully that answers your question anyway. Big up to Tom Thatcher. Big up to you, Bakar. Big up to you. Big up to you. I'm not going to butcher your name. Big up to you, Liam. Big up to you, Liam. Big up to you, Maple Walker. Big up to you. Big up to you, Glenn Hodder. I said that to you already. Big up to you, Paul Shepherd. Big up to you. Big up to you all. But yeah, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. The main thing is for me, and as I just looking at my phone, I mean, there was some news today that Tottenham Hotspur have looked at agreed personal terms with a player called, and I'm just trying to get the name now, Johnny Cardoso, the guy that we had an option on, with him coming the other way, with Lo Celso going to Real Betis. Now, if you look at reports, I mean, we've just said that it says here that we've agreed personal terms and expected to do it be a formality. And he's looked as a centre midfielder, sort of defensive midfielder. And it's an interesting one because I think I've got mixed reports on this guy, Johnny Cardoso, who I think he's American, I think it is. He's okay. Nothing special, but that'll be interesting to see what happens there. And this is for the summer. 21 million release clause. And it would be interesting to see what we do in midfield. I mean, it really does determine what manager comes in. It does determine what manager comes in, definitely. But it's going to be a very, very interesting one. Very, very interesting one. And very interesting to see what happens next in terms of the next couple of months, the second part of the season, last part of the season. Let's see what happens in terms of what happens with this club. I mean, actually, while we're here, because I was going to go on a little bit about the Liverpool game, but because the Liverpool game is so depressing, I just don't really want to talk about it too much, to be honest with you. We can talk about Tottenham's fixtures going forward. we can go and look at Tottenham's fixtures going forward. And looking at that at the moment, while I bring that up, big up to everyone in the chat. Please keep liking the stream. It's kind of a stream that was just unplanned. It was planned and unplanned. Because to be honest with you, I was planning to do it yesterday. Then I just didn't have the energy for it. Today, for some reason, I have the energy for it. I had a bit of some time to think, some time to energize, doing some exercise and doing some things, and I feel more rejuvenated. Not because of Spurs, because of myself, which really is what you do. Really, if I could share this, that'd be great. That'd be really great. But looking at Tottenham's fixtures going forward, we obviously got the Aston Villa game, which is going to be an interesting game for me. Tight game at 5:35, which is ridiculous time in my opinion. To be honest with you, I don't really get the FA Cup. I don't get the FA Cup scheduling. I really don't. And it just doesn't make sense whatsoever. That's one of the reasons why I can't really get into the FA Cup, because of scheduling. I understand it's TV, but I mean, some of the games are like one game was on Thursday last round, and I just thought that was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, who's going to be watching a game on Thursday? I mean, yeah, I can understand Friday night, Saturday night. I don't even think Monday night's really used. I don't really need it as far as I'm concerned. I think really it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know why they have to have lots of games in the 12:30. Maybe have some majority at 3:00, one at 5:30, and then a couple of games on Sunday. I mean, it's just ridiculous, some of the stuff, the scheduling on the FA Cup, and then people think people are going to be really wanting to watch it. I just think, well, yeah, cool, but maybe do it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But yeah, it's just, it's one of those things which I don't really get, to be honest with you. But yeah, let me just now. I'm just going to share, and hopefully this does work. Share screen. Here we go. Hopefully it does work. If it does work, if it doesn't work, we're going to. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. Maybe do. Okay, maybe not. There we go. Right. So looking at the fixtures right now, obviously we've got Aston Villa tomorrow, and that's going to be an interesting game because we have got a good record at the Villa. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see whether, because I think that would be more tight game. And let's be honest here, Aston Villa are very indifferent. Very indifferent. They're very, they're very, in different form. They've done well in Europe. I've got to be honest, very, 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 very well in Europe. But it'd be interesting to see what they do, and what sort of team. I mean, they had a very good window. I have to be honest. I mean, I don't really get the Duran sell. I know he got a lot of money for them, but why would you go to Saudi Arabia when you could get a Premier League team and do well? You had their striker, Aston Villa strikers. I just don't get it. I don't get that really. The fact that they he went off to Saudi Arabia, but obviously the money's too good to turn down. So but it's going to be interesting. I think it will go to penalties, and I think Aston Villa will nick it. Just looking at it from afar. But I mean, penalties is a lottery, so we don't know what will happen there. So it could be Tottenham. Then the next game's Manchester United. That's going to be a very interesting game because I don't think Man United are playing very well. And Amarin's got a lot of work to do at Man United, just by watching what they were doing yesterday. So, it's one of those things where can you really see? I mean, it depends on who's going to be, who really is stronger. I don't know. That's the main thing for me. I don't know. So that's going to be an interesting one. Then you got Ipswich. Now that's a very interesting game as well. The thing is, though, I've heard a lot of people saying that we're not in relegation. We're not threatened from relegation. Now, fair enough. We're not going to get relegated. But the only reason why we're not fearing relegation is because the three teams below are absolutely useless. Because let's be honest here, the form that we've been on, it's been relegation form. And the reason why we're not, we're looking backwards and we're saying we're very close to the relegation and then more top 10. That's cool. But that's not cool. That's not cool, no. But it's just there's not that much squeaky bum time because the teams below are absolutely goddamn useless. Absolutely useless. So, I mean, it's all right saying, "Oh, we're not going to be relegation," but we should not be down that. We should be not down there. We shouldn't be looked down behind us. We should not be doing that. A team like this, when I hear people making excuses, like I said, yeah, before when I saw it on that last show, like I said, saying, "Oh, well, these other teams don't only have one game a week." Well, sorry, but if you're top team, you're able to manage that. You're able to manage your schedule because everyone knows exactly how much games you've got. So I don't understand some of the nonsense I hear from Tottenham fans. Like I said on Deji's show, I can't believe it. And it's like, oh well, it's fine. Well, it's not. It's excuses. It's excuses for the maximum. So I don't understand it, to be honest with you. But Ipswich is going to be a difficult game. They've got rid of it. They've got a new goalkeeper in because the goalkeeper was costing them points, and he wasn't doing well for them. So that's another interesting game. Man City is going to be a very interesting game. We've got a very good record at home against Man City. I know we got beaten last year, but we all know why. That was not a great time as a Tottenham fan. Let's be honest here. Controversial time as well. Let's be honest as well. So Man City would be trying to chase up for top four. I mean, I don't think top four should be their aim, really. They should be aiming for at least a trophy and top four. I mean, that saviors their season a little bit, doesn't it, really? And then who we got? We got Bournemouth with the ever so impressive Ariola, who's got how many injuries, and we complain about our injuries, which should be all back by then. Obviously, the notable ones in Dragerson, unfortunately. I think Solanke's back after that. I think Solanke's back soon as well. But yeah, that will be an interesting one, definitely. What sort of form we're going to be in, I don't know. But yeah, you look at those fixtures. I mean, then you've got Fulham after that. Then Chelsea, and we never really get anything out of Chelsea. We never do. We never do get anything out of Chelsea, don't we? So, it's not that many games. I mean, obviously, then you got Southampton, which I really, truly expect us to beat Southampton, but, you never know. And then you got Wolves, who are fighting relegation, top Nottingham Forest. There's not many games left, and there's not many more chances at the moment, but you look at the end of the season, it looks very tough. It does look tough for Tottenham. And only a few games where you can say, yeah, definitely Tottenham will win. But with the form that we're in at the moment, we don't know. I can't tell you what games we're going to be winning. I can't tell you completely. I can't tell you at all. So it's an interesting one to see what happens next and see how we manage to get through this period. And we're going to have a few weeks where we've got no game midweek as well, so that might be crucial as well for us to, pick up some points in the league and try and get ourselves away from the bottom half and try and save a little bit of pride in this season. Let's be honest as well. So yeah, it does look like a tough schedule going forward, but we can't be making excuses about the whole thing about 2 games a week because top teams have to manage, and that's it. But big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everybody who's watching. Big up to who's joined just right now. Please like and subscribe like everybody else, and that's it. Big up to you. Big up to you, David. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. And it says, Alex, I love your show. Keep it up. Can I give a shout out from Seoul? Big up to you from South Korea. You're building a fan base in Korea. Many are starting to watch you. Brilliant. Big up to you, David. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the comment. Big up to you. Big up to you, Lee D. Yo, evening. Do you really think if we lose tomorrow, he will get dumped? I'm not sure he will hope. Let's hope to the God we win tomorrow, even though it won't save our season. Come on, you Spurs. I don't think if you're talking about Ange is not going at all. He's going to be here to the end of the season. I think they've made the decision already. I've made my decision already on him. I think he's always going to stay. He's always going to stay, Ange Postecoglou, to the end of the season. I always say I didn't want to sack the manager and bring in Ryan Mason. That would be an absolute nightmare for me because I think that's just stupid and it shows you haven't got a plan. And that's it for me. I mean, one thing I do need to share, and I'm going to share it right now. And it's something that I saw today, well, a couple of days ago, that was shared. And it's the minutes played by players aged 18 or under. And you look at the amount of minutes some of our youngsters have played, 3,941 minutes. Wow. It's the largest out of all 42 starts, total of 42 starts out of all of them, or out of all the Premier League teams. That is absolutely ridiculous. And for a manager that really, let's be honest, has been forced to play his youngsters. He's been forced. I mean, it's just. I don't really know what to say on that, really, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. But yeah, it's just one of those things, really. But big up to everybody who's watching. Big up to David. Thank you, John. Saying big up to you. Yeah, it's all money via TV rights. Yeah, well, I just don't enjoy it, John. I've got to be honest. I have to be honest. I don't understand it, and it turns me off the FA Cup, to be honest with you. The scheduling of it. Big up to Mark. Big up to you. Big up to your support as well. Big up to the Sheriff. Big up to you. Big up to you. Please subscribe to the show. Big up to James Flower. Big up to you. I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're well. And big up to you, Charles. Big up to you. Thank you for your comments. We shouldn't even be talking about regulation. Well, unfortunately, I think we are. I think. Well, we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be doing that. No, but it is what it is at the moment. Unfortunately. Let's be honest here, Alex. We won't touch. Yeah. Well, we don't know what sort of city is going to turn up, but they've had a very good window. Let's be honest, they had a very, very good window. And yeah, we expect us to beat Southampton, definitely. And yeah, he wouldn't be playing the youngsters if he didn't have to. Yep, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. And when on that note, this was only going to be a quick show because I'm going to be doing. I've got to go off now. Big up to everybody who's watching. Please like and subscribe. I noticed that loads of people watch the show but don't subscribe. And even if you don't agree with me, just subscribe because one day I might invite people on the channel. I might put the link out and we can just have a chat. And if you want to debate me or don't agree with me about something that I've said, I'll put the link out and we can have a discussion. Not a problem at all. That's what the show's all about. And that's it. You know what I mean? We like to be challenged. We like to have a challenge. We like to be challenged on this show. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up the show now. We'll maybe next time do a longer show where we can talk about Tottenham more and what my thoughts are. To be honest with you, this ain't that bad. I think it's because I just don't want to keep on saying the same thing. And I think I've not done too badly not bashing the manager today. And it's not because I don't. Listen, I'm not going to change my mind on Ange Postecoglou. He's got to do a lot more. I mean, if we can start having conversations, if he wins the FA Cup no, okay, FA Cup possibly. Europa League, then we're going to have a real conversation about Ange Postecoglou. Yes, we're going to have a real conversation about him, but it's going to take a lot more to get me on board because, like I said, I'm so bored now because I've been consistent. I've been very consistent, and you can only get if you feel bored. There's a reason for it because you're consistent with your views. You've seen this before, so. I think for me today just highlights to me that I need to do more shows, speak to the people more, be on less shows, definitely, and just unleash, even if there's one or two people watching. But big up to everybody that's watching because it's really appreciated, and that's all I've got to say. On the 2 nights before when Tottenham Hotspur were absolutely useless against Liverpool. On the day that Richarlison, oh my God, Richarlison, please just go. Honestly, I'm fed up with you. You are so annoying. So annoying. Honestly, he's the most useless striker I've ever seen in my whole life. Honestly. And I thought Andy Boob was bad. I thought Chris Archer was bad. But then there's Richarlison. Oh, that bang average Emil Heskey, and that's just even shame on his name because Emil Heskey was a good striker and that's it. I'm sorry. Get him out my club. On the day when we gave Son a new contract and he's still not got any better, what are we doing, Tottenham Hotspur fans? Same Tottenham, different day. And on the day, when people said to me that I was talking absolute waffle, well, look what's happened. The truth came true and that's it. So maybe you should have listened to the truth. Rather than run your mouth too much, ignore the main event and listen to the main event rather than run your mouth. And that's all I've got to say and that's it. Yeah? Because like the tune goes every single time. Back to life. Back to reality. Back to reality again. For those people that doubted Mr. Box Office. And that's all I've got to say. And as we always wrap up the show, big up to everybody who's watching. Watch out for me again because I've only just got started. As we close the show like every single time. Like this. If you didn't know. Get to know. Support your boy, Mr. Box Office. Subscribe and like. And come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.